Earlier, John Kernan caught up with Melanie Troxel.
Back in Melanie Troxel's pit, and, you know, sad indeed that they did not make it again for the 5th straight race this season. But John Medlin coming on board the middle of last week to help Aaron Brooks and company out. And Melanie, I guess we can say there's light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, you know, it's tough because even though the end result is the same, we didn't qualify for the event, we do kind of see some progress being made. Great to have another set of eyes. John Medlin coming on board, looking at everything. Aaron's been poring over all of the data, trying to figure out what he's missing, and it's great to have somebody else come in, and even though we've made some changes and we feel like we made some progress this weekend, say, you know what, there is something wrong here. There's something not quite right. So we're going to take a chassis that we're having built up at Merck McKinney's. It was about 80% done. We're actually going to have the front half of that kind of cut back off, make some changes, some stuff, some ideas that John and Aaron want to try, and see if we can't get this thing put together and out by Atlanta. It's a little bit of a long shot to get that done in about a week's time, but we really think that might be the answer to our problem, so we're going to give it our best shot and try and make that happen before the race.
So we'll see in 2 weeks about the results and if they get that new car ready.
And over in the Antron Brown pit.
Got the crew working hard. Bottom end guy there torquing all the rods on that thing. Make sure those are all tight. That's always important. I hate when the crew guys leave the rod caps loose, huh, Shirley?
No, I don't hate that. That's that's the big slip on Monday, I guarantee you.
Yeah.
You know, my son John always did the bottom end of my cars from day one.
So that never happened when he did it, did it?
Believe me, when I backed up, you know, and you see that oil pressure gauge, or they don't have them nowadays.
And let's take a look at Tim Richards as a crew chief. His career with a bunch of great drivers there. 77 wins, 6 NHRA championships. This guy knows how to tune race cars.
And for Ron Capps, this is his 700th round of racing.
None of us are surprised that he's back.
Up the tire.
Oh, he smoked him, and that gives it over to Bob Bode. He goes yet another round. Do we have a repeat of Brainerd happening here? Remember, Bode won that last year, and it was a huge surprise.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ron Capps had lane choice, and he's the first field car to take that right-hand lane with lane choice, and I got to believe because initially in the previous round he didn't have it, and they went down the racetrack. We saw a few cars in that left-hand lane spinning, so I don't think it was necessarily a bad choice in hindsight, though. You look at it, he went out there and whisked the tire, but Ron did a great job to get recovered, but he just came up short.
Let's go to Dave Reeve.
As we welcome back one more time, Tim Richards, his wife Kim, just over his left shoulder there. I got to ask you, all the years, all the championships, all the national wins, to come out here, keep your hands clean and observe this weekend. How hard was that?
Well, it was necessary for me. I need to learn how these guys work, and you know, the systems on these cars are far different than what I used even 2 years ago. So I need to learn that whole deal, and this was a good time to observe it, really. You know.
You have an opinion on tuning these funny cars. They're pretty tough, don't you? Aren't they?
They're all.
We will get your hands dirty here in 2 weeks.
Now there's Tim, and Tim now. Ron Capps, little issue at the top end. Looking for fire. Ron jumped out and lifted up right away.